Hi, everybody. Welcome to Brave in Action. My name is Heather Vickery, and I am a transformational success coach here to help you come home to yourself, belong to yourself, to find that spark, your spark, you to ignite your own knowing, intuition, authentic self-expression, ignite your own joy, to spark whatever it is that you're looking for in your life in so many unique and creative ways. Sometimes we do that by stepping bravely into something that we're afraid of. Sometimes we do it when we're really annoyed because our microphone stand is looking silly. Sometimes we do it by taking small, intentional, inspired action. Sometimes we spark our joy by doing big things. We spark our intuition by slowing down and connecting with ourselves and getting to know ourselves. It's going to show up in all sorts of different ways for you. And I am so excited to talk about today's topic. So every single Thursday at 11 a.m. Central, I come here for my weekly live show, Brave in Action. And I try to share just one little thing, one new thing for you each week that helps you show up more honestly and authentically in your world, that helps you spark that inner knowing, that intuition, that awareness, that authenticity, that helps you step into bravery just a little bit more. It's all brave work, right? That's the thing. It's all really brave work, showing up for yourself, coming home to yourself, belonging to yourself, doing the things that bring you authentic joy and peace. And when you show up for yourself in that way, you start to show up differently in the world. And it's pretty freaking cool. And we can spend so much time in our lives focusing on what might have been, what could have been, what wasn't, right? We can spend so much of our time thinking about all of the things that we had desired, we'd wished for. Maybe we tried hard, maybe we worked hard, and that thing, it didn't happen. It didn't show up for us. And so today I want to talk about the best things that never happened. Because the more I know, I had this conversation earlier today with a client. We were doing a mini human design reading. And it was one of those conversations that I didn't even know I needed to be having. I was the coach and the guide in this conversation. And yet, what came out of my mouth was inspiring. And what I heard from his mouth was inspiring. And I don't know, it was just a really lovely exchange of humanness. And what I said to him was, the more I know, the more I realize that I don't know. The more I know, the more I realize there's so much that I don't know. And I love that. I love that there's always more to learn and always more to explore and always more to do, to be, to show up for. And this knowing that I don't really know, I know a lot, but I don't know everything, can't possibly know everything, allows me to step into a space of surrender so much more honestly, without judgment, more patiently, because I can't know how things are going to turn out. I can know how I want them to turn out, but I can't know how they're going to turn out. I can visualize, and I do, desires and outcomes and things that I'm working for, but how, when, exactly what, I can't know that. So when I'm doing my manifestation work, my visualization work, it's always this or better, this or better. I'm creating this thing or something better that I didn't even know to want, that I didn't even know to wish for. So if we're going to go back to the best things that never happened to us, I bet you know a lot of them. Things you wanted desperately. This has been coming up a lot in my life. If you're here, say hi, let me know. I always love to know that y'all are here. I see eyeballs, but it doesn't tell me who's here. So say hi. Um, Especially when we're young, when we're teenagers or young adults, and we think we know everything. And of course, we don't. And life is going to be quick to tell us that we don't know everything, right? Life is going to come at you hard and fast and say, yeah, right, fat chance. That's not happening. Um, but we wish so hard. We expect so much of ourselves and of the people around us. And whether it was partners that I wanted to have or jobs that I wanted to have, um, things that I wanted to do, places I wanted to go. And so many of those things did not pan out. And I remember the heartache. I remember the angst, the anxiety of being so wrapped up in the outcome of something that I couldn't let it go. I couldn't make it disappear, and it would consume me. And I don't know how many of you can identify with that, but I would imagine at some time or another, all of you could. And I wasn't able to stay in the moment. I wasn't able to be present. I wasn't able to focus on the next thing because I was so wrapped up in this thing that wasn't coming to fruition the way I had dreamed and desired and desperately wanted. And then here we are. I'm going to be 49 in a couple of months. And I'm looking back and I'm like, thank goodness that thing didn't come true. That thing that I wanted so badly when I was 18, 19, 20, 25, that I thought I'd give anything for. I mean, one silly thing that comes to mind is a boyfriend that I had who I just thought he was great. I really liked him. He broke my heart. When he broke up with me, it broke my heart into a million pieces. And we recently reconnected on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Of course, I'm out of the closet and total lesbian, and that's never going to happen. But, you know, what we think we know, and then being willing to realize that we don't know what we think we know. We can learn new things. So here is what I want you to play with, and what I want you to explore as you start to reflect on your life, to think back on those very best things that never happened, the things that you wished for but didn't, is you have the opportunity to rewrite your story in a way that fits with who you are right now in this moment. When we learn to like and love and trust ourselves in the moment, it is because we've looked at what we've experienced in the past and we can prove new things to ourselves. So it's a hi, Kirsten. How are you? It's really important to take time to reflect on what those wishes were, right? You can maybe list them out, write them out, speak them out. All of these wishes or dreams that you once had, but they didn't come true. And now that you can look back at those missed connections, at those missed opportunities, you can say, wow, things turned out so much better because that thing didn't happen, that thing that I wanted so badly. That's a very good first step so that you can be clear about the fact that all timing is divine, that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be. And it may likely be because something you previously wanted didn't come true. When we have unfulfilled wishes, dreams, and desires, you kind of have two choices. There are sort of two paths that you can pick from. One of those paths is to go, well, fuck it, throw in the towel. I'm not going to believe in magic anymore. I'm not going to make wishes anymore. I'm not going to dream anymore. Those things don't work. Those things don't work for me. Why bother? No more. You could do that. I hope you don't. The other option is to trust that the grand scheme of life is here for you, that life is here for you, that the universe has your back, that all timing is divine, and what is meant for you will not pass you by. It will not pass you by, right? You can start trusting all of that. And when you choose to trust all of that, all of a sudden, things start to make more sense. Things become more clear. The surrender leads to deeper knowing and deeper understanding and deeper awareness of who and how and where you want to be in this life, who and how and where you want to exist in this life. We grow through unfulfilled dreams. Sometimes those are just things we wanted that simply didn't happen. Sometimes they're mistakes, failures, learning opportunities, right? All of those unfulfilled dreams lead to something better if you're willing to look at it and be honest. It does often take a lot of time to realize that. And sometimes it's days, months, maybe even years before you can say, oh, that turned out better than it would have if the thing had stayed, or if the person had stayed, or if I had gotten this thing that I wished for. There's tremendous value in not fixating on a specific outcome, but instead committing towards the direction of your dreams, the way that you're going to feel when you get there, the afterthought, the after effect. Once I have enough money, enough clients, enough knowledge, enough confidence, I'll be able to X, Y, and Z. Instead, be in the XYZ, right? Experience the XYZ in your mind, in when you're visualizing, when you're listening to music and dancing around your house, when you're journaling, when you're dreaming, when you're taking a walk, as you fall asleep at night. Imagine the XYZ, the thing that you want on the other side. It's not the doing, it's not the creating, it's the being. That's what you're creating. That's what you're manifesting. And in order to do that really well, you have to let go of the how. And you have to let go of believing that everything you've decided you want along that path is here for you, because it might not be, right? This creates just a really beautiful, magical shift in perspective. You have the power to shift your perspective, to broaden your mind and change the way you engage with the world. The fastest way to do that is to bring yourself back into this moment, be aware of what's happening right now, how it's making you feel, and does it check the boxes towards getting you someplace you want to go? And what do you need to let go of? What unfulfilled wish or dream or action do you need to let go of? Because all timing is divine, right? I want to know what you once wished for. Now, like, thank God. Thank God I didn't get that job. Oh, that job. If I'd taken that job, we do this all the time in my podcast, Was It Chance, that I co-host with my friend Alan Seals. We interview creative, successful people who take intentional risk for their creative success. And we ask them every time, what didn't go the way you wanted? What was once considered a failure and that led to something else? And we see it, we hear it all the time. If I had gotten this gig or this job or this role, or if this book had been picked up by a publicist or a publisher, if that course had taken off, could be anything, right? I wouldn't have been able to say yes to this next opportunity that showed up a day later, an hour later, a week later, a month later. And that thing changed my life. That's what we're looking for, connecting with all of that knowing and those moments. And I just find it a really fun exercise to think about how attached we were to something at one time, and then to discover, thank goodness that wasn't the thing for me, to discover it and lean into it and celebrate it, right? Yeah, I think that's a lot of fun. So that's the little drop today. I want you to think about the best thing that never happened to you. I'm going to pull a Create Brave card because everybody loves that. For those of you who aren't familiar, the Create Brave cards are a deck of manifestation cards that I co-created with my friend Rachel Swanson. They're here to help you guide and source your next step in whatever you do. I love them. If you like tarot cards or oracle cards, you're going to love the Create Brave cards. It just gives you something to think about, to focus on, to help you connect with yourself in a new way, whatever you're going through. I tend to shuffle until the card that the universe wants me to have pops out. We'll see. Where is she? Oh, she fell down. That happens like 50, 60% of the time, right? You guys. Here she is. This is the card I dropped. Self-compassion. And I love this card when we're talking about the best thing that never happened, because we can be so hard on ourselves when we don't get the things that we think we want, when our dreams and desires don't manifest in the way that we expected them to. And self-compassion is one of my core values and components in all of the work that I do, sparking self-compassion in you, helping you ignite your own self-compassion so that you can love yourself without expectation, without judgment, and then show up into the world with that as your foundation, it's a huge part of what I do. Huge part of what I do. And so I love this. I allow space to be gentle and kind to myself. We have a little guidebook. I'll read to you from the guidebook. It's like having two coaches in your pocket. I just love this deck. It's probably my favorite product that we've ever put out. Don't tell my journals and my book. I love my journals and my book. But this deck is really special to me. Self-compassion. Kindness is an act of bravery, especially kindness towards yourself. It may feel strange at first, but it's very liberating. The more you practice, the more self-compassion becomes second nature. You are beautifully unique, and you deserve to treat yourself the way you treat others. Saying kind words to yourself and caressing yourself have the same effect as if someone else were doing it. So that's actually true. So like being kind to yourself, patting your face, your shoulder, giving yourself a hug, your brain doesn't know the difference between somebody else giving you physical compassionate touch and you giving yourself physical compassionate touch. And it feels really weird to do that. I fully understand that, but it does work. And so be really tender and gentle with yourself. Saying kind words to yourself and caressing yourself have the same effect as if someone else were doing it. It releases the same endorphins and serotonin, and you're able to achieve independence in this way and not always depend on others to show you kindness. It would be nice if we could, in the moment, instantly just have somebody to show us kindness and compassion. But the person you need kindness and compassion from most is you. Remember that. Build a relationship with yourself as you would with a dear friend. Show yourself forgiveness. Give yourself a hug and know that you are worthy and valued. Know that you are perfectly imperfect and that you are loved. And be the one to love yourself for all of those things. To quote Red, White, and Royal Blue. Ooh, I didn't think I was going to get to sneak in a Red, White, and Royal Blue quote today. I love you. I love him. I love me. Insert proper pronoun. Despite those things, because of those things, on purpose. I love him on purpose. You should love you on purpose. Not just despite all of the things you consider flaws or mistakes, but because of them. Love yourself on purpose. That was fun. I wasn't expecting that. All right, so here's a Create Brave prompt, a thing you can go out and do right now. Give yourself a kindness hug. Write down 5 things that you like about yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say those 5 things out loud. Find a way to physically care for yourself, such as putting on your favorite lotion or gently massaging your hands or turning on your favorite playlist or dancing or whatever. So here, let's practice. I'll do it with you. I'll do it for me with you. So first I'm going to give myself that kindness hug. I actually really love it. I love it. Oh. You got to hold it for a minute, you guys. Hold your self-hug for a minute until you feel yourself calm down. A friend of mine, a former client, if you watch this, you'll know it was you, who happens to be my neighbor, several years ago came over to the house and gave me a hug. And they hugged me longer than was comfortable. And when we were done, they said, I learned a long time ago to hug somebody until they exhaled, because that's how long, that's what you needed. That's the kind of hug you needed. And so hug yourself until you exhale, until you feel yourself relax. So good. I don't have a mirror, but I do have a camera, 2 of them, Instagram and everyone else. 5 things I love about myself. Look, this is hard, okay? It's one thing to do it in front of a mirror, and I know many of you struggle to do that for yourself in front of the mirror. It's really hard to do it in front of the camera when I know you guys are watching, but 5 things I love about myself. I love that I am a glass half full kind of girl, that I can look at almost any situation. And even if I feel bad, even if I know that there are hard times, that things are difficult, I can say, this is going to be okay. It's all temporary. We're going to get to the other side and I can find a silver lining. I love my silly, ridiculous. Oh, I don't know. That's so cool. Somebody just put balloons up on the Instagram live. I don't know who did that and I don't know how, but that was amazing and I love it. I love that I am a projector in human design, that I am here to guide and lead other people to living their purpose and to supporting people. And that as such, I can sort of see into your souls, and that I've had to learn to not share that until you want it, until you've invited me in, but that I have that connection and that compassion. I love that. I love that I love learning, that I can explore, that I deep dive. I either don't want to know anything about it or I want to know everything about it. And when I go in, I go all the way in, and then I can't help but share it with all of you. Get ready, because I'm taking some new certification courses coming up, and there's just going to be a lot. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I love that I can rest and that I can trust myself to rest. That I know when it's time to rest and that I can be patient and gentle with myself. Is that 3 or 4? Who's watching? I love my collarbone. Is that weird? That's my favorite body part. Like, I just love this part of my body. I don't know. I love that I'm an open book. That if you want to know something about me, all you got to do is ask. I'll tell you. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything to prove. And you're either going to be into it and you're going to like me and you're going to want to hang out, or you're not. And that's okay, because I'm not for everyone. That's for sure. And I love that I do hard things, and that sometimes those things don't feel hard and sometimes they do. And I can do them to the degree with which is acceptable to me at the time. Like this live show. Believe it or not, this is hard for me. Coming on and doing lives is challenging. I don't particularly like myself on video. If there aren't a lot of you there interacting, I get all up in my head, but I do show up almost always. I have been sick a couple times and had to reschedule. And sometimes I feel great and I could talk to you for a long time and I could share lots of things. And sometimes I don't feel great and I show up and I give what I have to give, and I'm super honest and authentic about it, and show you that if the best you've got to give that day is 15% and you give that 15%, that's 100%. And that is essentially my life philosophy. Give the best that you can, but be honest about what your best is. And I have not always done that, but I do that more often than not these days. And I love that about myself. Tell me, what are your 5 things? What do you love about yourself? Send me a message. Send me a DM. Tell me what you love about yourself. I love to watch you win. I really love to watch you win. It brings me so much joy to watch you win. So please share. A couple things. In a couple weeks, we have the Manifestation Power Hour coming up. It's always the first Friday of every month. So go to vickeryandco.com/social or go to my links in my bio. Register for the Manifestation Power Hour because we have a great time. Some of you who are here right now, I know usually join us. We are manifesting big things in community with other people who are doing the same thing, and beautiful things happen. Also, tiny teaser, I have something really, really exciting. It feels really big, but it's kind of micro. It's a micro in a big way. I've been working to find a way to support everyone, all of you, in easy to access, easy to digest, bite-sized ways, from time, commitment, exposure, finance, all of it. It's coming. Stay tuned. There's something super special for those of you who watch the live show, who are on my email list, who connect with me on the socials. You're going to get a really cool opportunity. So stay tuned, because it is coming and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So until the next time, my name is Heather Vickery, and I am here to remind you to go out and choose bravely and choose you. Okay? Choose you today, and then show up for everyone else. Because once you do, everything's different. Bye, everybody.